second game of the day between Team Doggy and Penta Sports. We hopped over to Group B. We've seen both of them play yesterday. Penta Sports had dropped to Mouse Sports, didn't quite feel like the squad that I'm used to seeing. So we'll see how the form is today, because Team Doggy, they had a bit of an easier easier matchup, you could say, in the lower bracket, taking out the Polish Open Qualifier team. Excuse me. This Lee's Earth Shakers. But now, well, Penta Sports, at the best of times, they can tussle with everybody that's in Europe right now. So we'll see whether they can get to play the game or not. Start off with the Shadow Shaman, pretty solid already.
5 seconds remaining.
Team Doggy. Yeah, there's some talent of their own, right? You look at Rise, Sessajo, Neuer, Ixen even. A lot of these players have been in the scene for a long time. Team Doggy, though, maybe a bit gimped by the fact that they keep having to play with stand-ins. I'm not sure if they have a stuck fifth person. It is Focus, which I believe like one of the Greek guys. Yeah, the one that make it onto Mouse Sports and not what, like Focus, Relax. These kind of people, one of those, that crew essentially. Pretty decent as well, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've seen him, if it's even the same guy. But yeah, the other day they played quite a few games with Swift Ending. Yesterday they played with Faye. That's can kind of gimp you a little bit here if you keep having to play officials with another puzzle piece, right? Another guy in your lineup that has different synergies, different strengths that you have to adapt to. Penta, on the other hand, they've been together for a long time, so they don't quite have that issue. And they get themselves the Earth Spirit. DNZ was doing quite a few good things yesterday against Mouse Sports. Didn't lead them to a win, but it was quite impressive to see. So he's on the same roll together today here, no pun intended. And they should be good. Also go like for some very standard heroes. Then again, what's standard for Penta is not necessarily the same as what's standard in the meta right now. I mean, with the Shadow Shaman on the field, you can go easily for something like a Juggernaut, and you have the ability to kill most offlaners just by walking up the Shackle and then into spin damage, which is quite significant here if you get it all off, even at level 1 or 2.
5 seconds remaining.
Team Doggy might have to keep in mind Ogre Magi and Puck, though their opener also as solid as it gets. Puck is being banned out a lot of the times. Yeah, Ogre Magi not so much, but he's been picked more and more together with like use like Gyrocopter and Medusa. Like we see all of these different heroes cropping up into 707 as teams are starting to find new ways of playing the patch. And I don't want to say figure it out because we're still a long way from that, I'm pretty sure. But they're getting there, right? Team Doggy, evidently they did the homework. Ban out the Abaddon in the second phase. Make sure that Oliver doesn't get his hands on that. Still his CK in the pool though. Try and go for that. Team Doggy has that in mind. Penta ban out lifesteal themselves, which is not one of Oliver's classic. Even running it in mid. And building Radiance, that's his thing.
10 seconds
doing that on most heroes.
5 seconds remaining.
For Doggy though, like, yeah, lifesteal would have been good for them. Of course, them having the first pick coming into this. A little bit too risky to leave it in the pool. With the Puck already and the Ogre Magi able to buff him up in the attack speed department. Doggy, now they can take some time to think about where they want to go with the rest of the course, as well as their 5-position support, I guess. The one has been banned out, but Bane would still be in the pool, normally a 4-position, but kind of shifted around with the Ogre. Could also go defensively here with stuff like a Dazzle, with Doctor would come to mind. There's plenty of opportunities, but you might also want to think about your offlane and your carry. Could still be a Puck offlane, but he's susceptible to what I was saying earlier, Shadow Shaman with a lot of lockdown against him. But now it's the Rubik. Alright, that's another one that I forgot about for some reason. Pretty decent here with that Especially with that change to the aura, it adds a little bit more depth to it. Use it aggressively to buff up the puck. Other than that, you have a couple good spells to steal already here from Shadow Shaman. Earthspirit, maybe not so much because you don't necessarily have the stones to work with, obviously.
Enchantress.
Enchantress, alright. Penta spots. And we're going back to that one. They have run that against Team Doggy before. That's something that I forgot to mention just yet. This is a rematch. Penta Sports 1-2-0 against Team Doggy in the first round of this particular qualifiers, and now they meet each other again in the lower brackets. They have some very real experience against each other, and yeah, there's no question that Penta Sports are still coming in as the favorites in the matchup. But as I mentioned before, Team Doggy, despite all the issues that they have, things go together, and if Penta Sports maybe hasn't really found the right form yet again, and might have a chance here for an upset. That would be quite interesting indeed.
Dire team pick.
Gyrocopter. No big surprise. In every single game today, I believe so, almost. I think it was in all 3 games of the other series, wasn't it? Or am I just stripping? Oh. Fun hero to watch.
10 seconds remaining.
A lot of people here, it's very situational what you build, like whether you go for the rocket barrage or whether you just max out the homing missile and the flag cannon. And put a single point into it even, so it really depends on the lane. But in this instance, if you're up against enchanters roaming into that, I mean, because you know that, not even roaming, like it's gonna be an offlane enchantress with the Earthspirit already on the field, so with that in mind, between the Rubik, Gyrocopter, and Ogre Magi, they have a decent amount of magical damage to just burst through her if you go for the rocket barrage build.
Radiant team ban.
Juggernaut.
Juggernaut, okay. That's what I was saying earlier, right? Shadow Shaman with Juggernaut, very good dual lane combo for the safe lane. Don't need the Earthspirit to hang around there for too much, which does free him up to help out top and help out mid.
10 seconds
whatever
remaining.
hero they want to end up giving to Oliver there.
5 seconds remaining.
Again, could still be the CK. Against the Gyrocopter, maybe not the best with that flag cannon and everything, but on the other hand, if you're not worried about that, you can just make the argument, hey, Gyrocopter, not exactly super tanky, so if the CK just gets his levels, then presses R, presses W, and then Gyrocopter's dead, essentially. Same for most other heroes here in this game.
Dire team ban.
Take away the Storm Spirit instead for now. You know, other options would be like Queen of Pain, which is not ideal against the puck. Dragon Knight if you want to go super safe and add some extra push.
10 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Go crazy and still pick up Ducks here. I mean, Penta Sports, they're known to be a bit wacky sometimes with their drafts. The Team Doggy, they have the advantage of last pick, so if this is something completely out of left field, you can still just run the puck in the offlane and pick up another mid laner.
5 seconds remaining.
Alright, do we want to go aggressive here? Probably, maybe actually. Because if you go with any more than one hero into the offlane, then Shadow Shaman cannot really make as much of effective use out of the shackles, because as much as it stuns for 2.5 titans out of 1, it stuns yourself as well. Effectively here, because you can't move, so might be able to exploit that.
Radiant team pick.
And the Razor, alright. Or one of the safest heroes that he could have gone for at this point. The other one would be the Viper, which might very well be a choice that Team Doggy want to consider here. Very hard to gang with what Penta have, and still doing decent against the Razor, one would think.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, it's all coming down to the static link, doesn't it?
5 seconds remaining.
Definitely want a ranged hero. Puck is also pretty good already, so you can just go for an offlaner here if you want. Beastmaster, funny enough, still in the pool. Hunter, like some of these classics. Hunter though can probably just, yeah, okay, they pick it up even. Alright. With Penta Sports, if they want to, they can just run Razor safe lane up against the Tide. try and juggle mid against the puck with Earthbird kind of sitting around. Maybe that's something you consider. If you're Penta, right? I mean, Oliver has played a Juggernaut before as well. Right. The Team Doggy. Not the worst lineup, I do like it quite a bit. It is Penta that we're talking about. Looking pretty decent themselves. Yeah, it is Oliver on Juggernaut. Doesn't necessarily mean that we'll see him in mid though. Like they shift lanes around quite a bit as well. It's mostly 9 on the Razor mid anyway, and Oliver just sometimes with when it's the right situation. Yeah, Titan though is still one of these heroes, right? I mean, once he gets a couple of levels, he should be able to withstand quite a bit of the right clicks and whatnot with Track and Shell, the Anchor Smash up against melee hero. But until that point, even at that point here, just with Shadow Shaman and Juggernaut also getting the levels, this Shackle into Spin combo is still going to be extremely disruptive and destructive even against a Titan Hunter. You should be able to secure a few kills, especially early on. Thing is with Titan though, he's one of these heroes that can still easily fall back into the jungle with just a few levels, right? You just start anchor smashing people with the Kraken Shell and not taking too much damage from creep camps, so you just do your stacks, stack up the Ancients if you can as well, and you're gonna be just fine. Penta again. You have Boogie on your offlane Enchantress. ENZ on your Earthbird. Razor should really be going mid. Also relatively safe. Again, there is some kill potential on the Enchantress if they come up with it. I want to say at least 3 heroes. Maybe 2 if they do it early enough. Like, Boogie doesn't have the heal available, he's much more susceptible to this kind of magic burst. It's just a bit of burst, right? Especially early on with just Fate Bolt and whatnot. With Rocket Barrage, it hits quite quickly, but over 3 seconds you get 1 or 2 ticks in of the sprites if you have them. Oh my god, guys, seriously. Not gonna look at chat again. Oh dear, like, how am I supposed to make the game exciting when it's paused and it just started to run into each other? I'm not doing that. If you want to cast it like that, find somebody else. Not hyping up when nothing's happening. For now, just again poking and prodding. Both teams for the most part on the same side of the map, so this could actually turn into something, especially if Boogie goes a little bit too far forward, but he's pretty damn fast on his feet, 340 movement speed, without boots even. God knows why Astrock made that happen, but we'll secure this particular bounty rune, and they're also sending out Hester Joe to the other side. This 9 doesn't check and commit for it, then there should still be a 2-for-2 trade.
The battle begins.
Gold is a great conductor.
Nothing too crazy. Quick orb across, nice goal actually from DNZ. Rise with a quick sidestep, so it won't really be affected by it too much. But I like the idea, just coming in early, trying to prevent him from getting to that creep wave. But he's still gonna get there for a bit of a block, but RMN starting off a little bit earlier here to help out Oliver. Now gonna see this Juggernaut mid, as I mentioned. Not quite as easy without the boom and shields, so Rise over time should always be able to just out-harass. This kind of issues potentially CSing just because of the attack animation. Even though he does have more damage to work with than the Juggernaut at this point. Does he? No, he actually doesn't with the Culling Blade, also amping it up. And RMN here, not just him, but also DNZ, so he's gonna require some help. Meanwhile though, they're gonna try and bring down the Enchantress on bottom. That's what I was talking about, but the Rocket Barrage also shared between Creepwave and Boogie. did hold his first point, so he does have the nature's attendance, which makes this kind of play impossible. 9 up in the top lane. It's complete free farm because, again, it's a decent matchup against Tidehunter. Hezekiah also just focusing on getting his levels, dragging the creep wave around. There it is. Let's roll up from DNZ into the shackles, into the spin. Not in the safe lane, but in the middle lane. First blood regardless. Onto a rise. DNZ, a lot of patience here. Just, I mean, he rolled across. They saw that he did that earlier, obviously. But they probably didn't think that he'd stick around there for a solid minute. Just wait for the right opportunity.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So far, all 3 lanes bound to go pretty decently. Rise straight back into it, so just not missing out on too much experience. Or gold even. And the lane even further under this tower, he be fairly safe against this kind of aggression, but Boogie. Oh, he's level 2 now. Once his dropper slow, he does secure his own bounty with the lift across. DNZ does not have stuns just yet. Only the roll to close the distance, so a TP, quick TP out from Rubik will be absolutely fine. Let's scan 2, just confirming the Shadow Shower, and it's just waiting for Arise to go into the river and wrap around. Shouldn't really be a kill with that scan, just confirming these suspicions, but it'll keep them away from the lane. Puck is not having the best time right now as bottom lane, DNZ and Boogie working together trying to get close to focus. Will already use still, level 1s, no stones. Elf will be cancelled in the end with Boogie. A lot of damage being done. He even got himself a creep now to help us Smasher, slowing Noya down a little bit more. Does have nature's attendance. Probably want to throw them out right now, and is it coming up with stick charges? Yeah, maybe. They can even turn this around. One more time on the focus. Fall up slow, right clicks. Trying to fight you with Rock Brush, level 2, doing decent amount of damage, but spread out between a couple of units. Feels very underwhelming, so focus will be tracked down.
Radiant's top tower is
Going
under
in just a
attack.
little bit too hard. Not top here, 9. That's why I brought that possibility up in the draft anyway, just match up from the raise up against the Tidehunter. That link's just so easy. Right, what? Alright, this time they do track down DNZ. Like he's stuck around a little bit too long with low health. Yeah, whenever the static link is off cooldown, the spammer and Hezekiah is forced to walk away. Still getting his levels, getting a few CS here and there on the tower and whatnot. But it doesn't mean that Razor will be absolutely fine getting this free farm, right? 18 and 7. Darkenon is the only one that's eclipsing in that regard. Oliver doing very well here in mid with this early start that they've been able to secure themselves. Level 4 now, so... Alright, sorry about that one.
These lands are ours.
Not sure what he was doing there in the first place. I think... Been on a warding mission. I don't know. That is another wraparound. This is more like Penta. I weren't really able to get that on point yesterday against Mousesports. This time around here, another roll, Rise. Well, silence and quick jaunt here. Arman doesn't get the shackles off. He casts his curse here just as to say that they're back on. These kind of rotations, they very known for that. And just keep going, finding kills, stabilizing, and just stabilizing nades for herself, but disrupting them for the enemy at the same time. Patience, yeah. Sticking around, forcing at least a rotation here from the Ogre Magi. Well, moving on up. DNZ almost level 3 now, so at the very least you have that stun to work with.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Might actually be enough to kill Titan. This goes a gosh, slow will not connect. Stun might whenever you want to throw it out. There it is. Double extra right clicks, plasma field, has a good eye. Very straightforward. DNZ straight able to TP back, out of health points, out of mana, so not a whole lot else they can do. And they're dictating the pace of the game, but now trying to change that. Boogie wrapping around, trying to find an angle for the rocket barrage. And sort of finding it with a follow-up from his friends. Should be enough here, but again, the stick charges. The sprites is gonna be enough here with the shackles coming through, making sure that the rocket barrage doesn't continue to hit. Almost, but now Arman, well, he'll have to trade away his own life for the kill onto Rubik. There it is. Same time, Tide Hunter died again up top.
Radiant structures
Yeah,
are
alright.
fortified.
9 just kills Joe solo this time. DNC, they want to turn this right around.
Radiant's middle
Momentum on the
tower
bottom
is
lane.
under
Noya
attack.
scouts out the rotation from DNC. Roll will not connect, but go on alone. Look at somebody else entirely anyway. Focus throws out a call down after the mango. Boogie, look at this damage. This is more like it. 3 points up on the rocket barrage. No units to soak it up, so that backfired. DNC missing the stun. Uncharacteristic mistake there for him. I mean that they miss out on the kill and even give up Boogie.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Although, well,
Looks like it's just you and
they'll stop. Omni Slash onto a tanky ogre. They
Radiant's
also have
top
the
tower has fallen.
at the shrine right here. Won't lead into a kill either way by the looks of it. Nice little region rune.
regeneration.
Refill his mana pool. They continue to just keep heroes here in this bottom lane. Boogie just making a sidestep into the jungle, get himself another creep. With the centaur, should be actually pretty good as soon as the follow-up. Especially with Armen, the only one kind of shown here. They're gonna go, and actually another caller coming through, but this time the stun will connect on 2. Shackles to follow, they just tank the call down. Maintain that chain locking 9, even making a rotation down here to help out. I mean, already claimed the tier 1 top, so it does make sense. Just use his power elsewhere. For the free farm that he's got, in 4.2k net worth. Not really too many items just yet. I do believe this must be something from Curry. The Asha,
Radiant's
even before the
bottom
face boots.
tower is under attack.
A value farming item for sure.
Structures are fortified.
And gonna try and make use of this Cantress and the power of the Razor to do some damage with power, but not be committing too hard. Focus back from the dead. TEDO not quite ready to give this up yet. Neither quite get the memo, gets stunned up, and Rocket to follow up as well. The amount of magic damage from Rocket Barrage is gonna be enough. Nice body blocks too, but Boogie, well, coming through. Nice Ravage though as Joe makes his presence known. They get both of these kills. And the Centaur, not enough to turn things around. PENTA, we're staying to welcome here, that's for sure. Oh, overlay? Did I have that back? Oh shit, sorry about that. People distracted me earlier with your chat bullshit. This is why.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower
Don't
is
deserve
under
to see the
attack.
hero bar. That's what it comes down to. Oliver taking over top lane. Pushing that out before keeping down bottom. Not team fight here. DNZ coming through with stuns, with the silence, with the roll, slowing down focus. He will fall one more time as 9 finds his revenge. Now, in for more Ixen. Not enough mana to redo anything. We slowed down eventually here by the unstable current, and there it is. All the damage stolen. 9 securing himself that double kill.
This will only hurt forever.
PENTA, just keep going. Davai, davai, davai. That's what they're saying. And, well, eventually his tier 1 will fall. Not sure how long TEDO can actually respond to this, especially with these big spells and cooldown. No Ravage, so Joe just goes
Radiant's
into the
bottom
top lane,
tower is under
farming
attack.
next couple of items. Not on bottom though, Serpent Mod's committed.
Dire are scanning.
Focus, well, he's the one without a lot of long cooldowns.
Dire's top
PENTA,
tower is
still with a
under
bit of
attack.
respect. Coming in and farming up these wards. I think 1 or 2 of them have been denied. So heads up played there, but again, ultimately it was a waste.
Bounty.
Both on cooldown, no commitment.
Radiant are scanning. Gotcha.
9 continuing to camp down here.
Double damage.
All this also means that Arise is getting a lot of extra time in mid to catch up. To 3.5k net worth, still far away from 9, who's been part of a lot of these kills obviously, but you're looking for your blink deck and now after the Veil, and Oliver just use the spin here. Does have the Omni Slash to work with as well, but lifted up into the silence. Looking to be nuked down, follow control from Noya. Does get the Omni Slash off and with the DD. It'll finish up Arise. Oliver is still alive, gets the healing ward off. The Ogre Magi next on the list. Big commitment from PENTA. Keeping their carry safe and sound indeed. Going to surround one more to Ixen.
Radiant's middle tower
A lot of trouble. Can we slow down in a second here perhaps? The unstable
Dire's
currents.
top tower is under
Oh.
attack.
Let's get a lift up just in time, so DNZ will have to take it over with the stun. Not enough damage to claim the kill for himself. 9 just turns around. They'll get this tower with the help of the catapult and promise that as well.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's
Solid
top
turnaround.
tower has fallen.
Still sticking around behind enemy lines with kind of low health and mana. Pretty much all of these heroes, but they have mana boots, so
Radiant's
they'll be just
bottom
fine.
tower is under attack.
Now, all that was happening, Boogie was working away at the tier 1 bottom. Got himself that extra catapult from the other side. That makes it
Radiant's
extremely easy.
structures are fortified.
Continue to build this momentum.
Radiant's
And
bottom tower has fallen.
now with the Ravager available from
Dire's
Hesajo, he also
top
has the
tower is
Pot of
under
Defiance to keep himself alive a little bit better. We'll probably turn this into a pipe eventually, but there's not a crazy amount of magic damage coming out from Penta. It's only really, I guess, the spin as well as the magnetize that you're worried about. So I'd rather start building some more mobility. And he has the 4 stuff queued up to do just that. Have a commitment here in mid. Not sure if I want to fight into that if you're Penta, especially after just being Boogie like that. Thought he could just slow them down, look the creep up across, but I just get the nuke down. All this magic damage that I was talking about. Not from the puck. That amplified by Veil at this point too. 2,000 gold away from the Blink Dagger, so they're gonna have a harder time engaging this. Unless they have that wraparound Ixen. Going up to 9 here, the Ravage. Not coming out just yet until, well, there it is. No more lockdown available. DNZ coming from the outside. He's actually stuck in the walls. He has to eat his way through. The rest of his team. Stolen healing ward, I believe, here from Ixen. So, keeping his team alive. Penta unable to really get anything else done with that. Another ward's down to no real success. In a position to continue to defend the tier 1 tower. On the side, though, level 1 Omni-Slash. Almost level 12, so kinda wants to hold on to it as we can. Spin into the cooldown. Boogie able to walk out of it. 9 rejoining the party though, and Poker as well. He will tank most of that up. And Ixen, gold spin, not enough to keep him safe there with all of this. Right click, another roll. They want more, and they'll find Noya. Will survive, Hesajo. I man even tracking him down. That's not a shackle, but with the slow, with the slow from Hesajo, unable to get it on range. There's a map on the high ground though. Did they find him? They do indeed. The hacks into the shackles eventually. Okay, yeah, they were waiting, trying to wait for that purge off, but ended up doing just enough damage. Hesajo will still be killed here, maybe if DNZ wants to commit more, but might have to help admit the call was used. Didn't actually catch anybody. Very active game here, especially compared to the Singularity Evil Corporation series. Had a lot of phases where both teams there were just farming up, and not so much here. Penta are looking for objectives quickly from almost from minute 1. Getting these kills to work with. They still building into the next round of items. Sanji now completed now. Juggernauts has that same thing queued up after the battle fury.
Middle tower is under attack.
Oliver able to farm pretty damn quickly now. Oh man, he's also getting some extra space up top now. Still far away from his own blink tag, it's like one of the side effects. Be a bit careful about not even dying to delay it even further, because that's a pretty good spell to have. And it's an initiation up against something like Titan, especially like heroes like Puck, Gyrocopter. Get them before getting out the spells off, but now Penta a little bit outnumbered down here in the bottom lane. The Rocket will follow Boogie. They refocus on Oliver. And they're gonna get him. The Ravage team committed, okay. Not sure that was necessary, didn't even have the Omni-Slash and Spin was on cooldown. Maybe they weren't exactly sure about who else was coming there from Penta. It turned out nobody was. Yeah. Then they can just do now what they've done before, after. Oh god.
Come on, sprites.
Yeah, after TEDO had such a team fight or such a pick off. Knowing, hey, Ravage is on cooldown, let's go. 9, come here, Oliver, you respawn, alright. Just push down a tier 2 tower, just smoke up, try and find some pickers. Turn. Trying to keep the tempo high and the momentum that they have on a hero like Razor, which can do a whole lot with it. Even a Juggernaut to some extent. Not the worst strategy, really. They keep them honest, but you know, they still have these options to play against it, especially with the Rubik level 7. And we saw that Healing Ward have a big impact here the last time he had it. And especially Gyrocopter, he's one of these heroes that actually loves these kind of games, where you can just, as long as you can stay alive, obviously. Stand around in these team fights, walk by Rocket Barrage a couple of times. Call down a area denial, but oh, this is good here. Arman found himself in Invis room. Looking for Hasajo, Penta. And drag some damage to Purge. Still gonna be annoying to deal with on the Dragon Shell with 3 heroes around him. No ways of walking out of that one. And hey, guess what? Boogie still maintaining that extra siege creep. That'll add to the pushing power that they have. Right now, TEDO, they're not in a position to trade for it. Not quite anyway. They get their own creep wave up top. Another siege creep of their own, so it's going to be very, very slow indeed. Even if Oliver trying to react to it. He's in our general area. We'll wait for the rest of the team who wants to commit and show on some sort of map, but there. Right side actually has a couple of wards there too. But they kill him. I mean, max level silence. Need more bursts, and Ogre Magi hasn't really skilled into that with the max bloodlust. So here, hooked up, the courier will fall, and the hacks onto Gyrocopter too. Gonna get crazy good value out of this movement. And here expected Penta to just say, they took the tower, we don't see them anymore, so they'll probably just TP back and setting up on top. But no, they didn't. Smoked up, went this way, and intercepted Gyrocopter on the way out. And courier was just the icing on the cake at this point. Ready to roach, even committing Serpent Wards for it. Not wasting too much time. Death time is still very low this early on in the game. Ravage available as well as the Gyrocopter coming back soon. They really needed to have that Aegis in the hands quickly. Why it's worthy committing the Serpent Ward. Now you have a 10k net with Juggernaut with Aegis. Barreling down mid lane, back up with a Viper who's similar cancer net worth. All you have is a 7k Gyrocopter with a Master Menace, Face Boots as well as Drums of Endurance. Not their worst items. Good value. But at a point where his magic damage starting to fall off slowly but surely. Especially with an Aegis, like you're forced to pop a whole lot of that magic burst on this Juggernaut's Force Life, and you're in a bad position indeed. We'll see though if Penta can even connect with that for now. They didn't continue to push him in, instead they just tried to make sure that these lanes are pushed out. Around on the bottom lane, maybe you just want to threaten Rax. Still have the tier 2 up top to delay TEDO a little bit further. Again, not the best pushing lineup that they have there. Boogie just keeps maintaining this siege creep. It's just one of these cool things that you can do as an Enchantress, and also one of the reasons why I think that Helm of the Dominator should be picked up more often on supports. Make use of that extra pushing power. Look at this tower. Penta wailing away at it, only down to half health. Gonna have to be a fight here. Rise will bring silence. Yeah, Ixon comes in, slows the spin, impetus, and on the slash, bring him down. Slash transferring over, and with the hacks, controlling up the Gyrocopter further, he's just gonna fall immediately too. Rise sounds up by DNZ. Him and Boogie just keeping the rest of TEDO away. Rise still finds the full combo, but where's the follow-up? Hasajo, he was pushing down top. The Ravage was not part of the fight just yet. Then it's force of him. Lands on everybody except Oliver. Gets a spin off in time. Call down coming through. 9 actually stopping super low. It's trying to be healing himself up with the sprites here, and it seems to be successful for the time being. And Arise will not be able to make it out there either. But all of that was happening here. Ah man, his wards were taking care of the Rax. Back off cooldown. Can we continue here? Looking for more kills. There it is. Follow control onto Gyrocopter. Can't get anything else off. That's a dieback, isn't it? Yep. Sure is. You got Park now too, they... Like... Doesn't really make sense for them to stick around, because they can't even get a second set of Rex straight off the bat, because the tier 2s are still standing in the other lanes, so... This is just purely for posterity, essentially, and for making a statement, you know? It's like, hey, we're ahead. We're just gonna make sure that you know that by killing your gyrocopter over and over. And it does serve a purpose, right? Gyrocopters, 6.7k. Last time we talked about net worth here, it was at the same spot. And this is not exactly ideal, considering that Juggernaut now is at 13k. So, pretty much doubling up the net worth of the one position of the other team. Detection out already, doesn't look like it, unfortunate. More fortunate for Ogre Magi that he gets away with that play, without being punished. Well, still have Aegis on Oliver for another minute or so, so they'll make sure that TEDO cannot really multicast on 9, but there's a Hex for Armin coming in from the other side. Puck dies, and that's dieback too. 65 tackles on the sideline for a Rise. They're still being pushed in. And not sure about this one. There's still a big old creep wave there, so I'm not really too worried about the Omni Slash. Oliver starting to run down now. Chasing them away from this tier 2. This is all they're looking for. Meanwhile, alright, Armin has other plans, so shackled inside the walls on the Gyrocopter, just wants a solo kill. Not quite get it. Oliver has to come in with the Omni Slash to follow. Does transfer over and has it, Joe. That means that he goes down instead, and well, not enough to even keep focus alive. Last bounce is still gonna be enough. 9 runs on another, and GG is called. Well, this escalated quickly. Penta did that power spike and, well, ran him down. Won a couple of team fights, outplayed them. TEDO are down 1-0, only one game away from being eliminated here. Galaxy Battles qualifiers. Yeah, this comes down to top lane as well as middle lane being won quite handily here. Oliver just need a little bit of starting help with RMN, and then Rise couldn't really get back into it. Even once he got here, the blink and the veil, really enough to get these quick kills onto Penta's balls. They always trade it, they always just give them a run for the money. Well, the winner are them for game number 1. Stick around to see what happens here the rest of the series.